All right, let's get into it. We've all gotten pretty used to AI that can chat with us, the kind that answers our questions. But what we're talking about today, based on a new report from Google Cloud, is the next massive leap. We are moving way beyond AI that just talks to AI that actually acts.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What if instead of just finding information for a trip, it could book the whole thing for you? Instead of just summarizing a report, it could build the presentation and then email it to your team for feedback. That is the huge shift we're talking about, from passive AI to active AI agents.
So what are these agents exactly? Let's get a really clear definition down, because honestly, this is the one concept that's probably going to redefine how we all get work done.
Okay, so here's the key. This isn't just a smarter chatbot. Agentic AI is a system that can actually reason. It gets your goal, it cooks up a strategy, and then it goes and does it, using different apps and tools to get there. But that last part is absolutely crucial, all with human oversight. You're still the one calling the shots. You know what's so cool about this? It's how simple the process is at its core. This little three-step loop is basically the engine for agentic AI. You just have to state the what, the goal, and the agent figures out the how. It's this constant cycle of understanding, planning, and doing, all of it guided by what you want to achieve.
And this quote from Sundar Pichai just nails it. It's intelligence plus tools, which equals action. But again, notice that last bit, under your control. This isn't about AI going off and doing its own thing. It's about giving you an incredibly powerful new set of tools that you get to direct.
So, let's see how this all builds into something way bigger. Because we're not just talking about a new feature here and there. This is a completely new way of interacting with technology. And when you change that, you change the way we work, period.
This slide right here, this is the whole paradigm shift. For decades, we've had to tell our computers every single step. Open this file, copy this text, paste it over there. With intent-based computing, you just state the goal. Hey, create a sales report for Q3 and highlight our top 3 products. The agent takes care of all those little steps.
And that completely changes your role at work. You're no longer just the person doing every single task. You're now the manager. You're the strategist. You're the human supervisor who directs a whole team of specialized AI agents. It's kind of like you've been promoted to crew chief for your own team of digital experts.
And listen, this isn't some sci-fi future. Just look at these numbers from Telus. We're talking more than 57,000 employees already doing this and saving 40 minutes for every single time they interact with AI. That's not just a small bump in efficiency. That is a massive productivity revolution, and it's happening right now.
Okay, to make this all feel really real, let's zoom in and look at how this new model totally transforms a specific job. Let's meet the 10x marketing manager.
So the old way for a marketing manager was just this constant scramble, right? Drafting posts, pulling data, trying to analyze what competitors are up to. The new way is all about orchestration. You're not trying to play every single instrument in the orchestra anymore. You get to be the conductor.
And here's your new team. You've got a data agent that can sift through millions of data points, an analyst agent that's basically your 24/7 market watchdog, a content agent to get those first drafts done, a creative agent for all your visuals, and a reporting agent to tell you what's actually working. Every single one is a specialist, just waiting for your direction.
And check this out. The creative agent isn't just grabbing stock photos. No. You give it your brand guidelines, your strategy, and it generates original on-brand images and videos for you. This means you can focus on the big picture brand story, not spend hours just searching for the right picture.
And while that marketing example is super powerful, it's really just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. The data shows that companies are already putting agents to work everywhere. Almost half are using them for customer service. And you can see marketing, security, and tech support are right there behind. This is a business-wide thing.
So if individual employees now have their own teams of agents, what happens when you start connecting those teams together? Well, you get something the report calls the digital assembly line.
This is the bird's eye view. It's about taking all those individual specialized agents and basically stringing them together to automate a whole complex process, like maybe customer onboarding or handling procurement. It's a workflow made of agents, all of it orchestrated by human strategy.
I love this phrase, a generational refactoring. That's not just about installing some new software. Refactoring means you're rebuilding the fundamental wiring of the business from the ground up to be AI first. It's a really profound shift in how companies are going to operate.
Here's a fantastic real-world example. A company named Suzano had thousands of employees who needed data from these super complex databases, but they didn't know how to write the code to get it. So they built an AI agent to be a translator, one that could turn simple English questions into powerful database queries.
So, what was the result? Get this, a 95% reduction in the time it takes to get that data. Just think about that for a second. A process that used to take hours, maybe even days, now takes seconds. That is the power of the digital assembly line in action.
Okay, so all of this powerful automation, it naturally leads to the big question that's probably been in the back of your mind this whole time. Where does that leave us? Are humans still in the driver's seat?
The report tackles this one head-on. The idea that agents just act without any control? That's a total misconception. This model is specifically designed for humans to be the orchestrators, the strategists, and always the final decision makers. The AI might handle the how, but you are always in charge of the what and the why.
So, your role just evolves. You become the one who gets to delegate all that repetitive, mundane work. You get to set the high-level strategic goals, guide the agent's overall approach, and, this is so important, you act as the final checkpoint for quality and accuracy. You get to work on the business, not just in it.
And that, right there, is really the ultimate takeaway. This is not a story about replacing people. It's a story about augmenting them, about taking human creativity, strategic thinking, and judgment, and then amplifying it with the incredible speed, scale, and power of AI.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. If tomorrow you were handed a whole team of these specialized AI agents ready to work for you, on your behalf, and under your control, what would be the very first goal you'd give them?